Hello, everyone. Greeting from the Global Youth and Sustainable Organization, JISO, from the capital city of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. We would like to thank you all for your participation in our OYET 20 program. The online youth empowerment program aims to provide different and special training on the interpersonal and entrepreneurship skills. The program is scheduled at 8 o'clock free online courses, and we are glad to host specialists and experienced trainers and speakers from the MENA region, Australia, India, and the UK. Today's session is the Career Success Secrets with Mrs. Fatima Mohammed. Before giving her the floor, allow me to introduce her first. Fatima Mohammed is a mastermind and the founder behind Better Ever After, author and narrator of Higher Heels, Bigger Dreams, released in 2020. Amazon best-selling author to the book Tear the Veil, co-authored with writers from USA, UK, Canada, and across 6 different categories. Certified NLP practitioner and happiness life coach. She is likewise an active speaker in different national and international platforms, including TEDx and Wikistage, tackling issues that range from self-development, life changes, to gender and education. Fatima has also worked as English teacher, exam trainer, and Cambridge speaking examiner in country and abroad. Without further ado, please welcome our special guest and trainer for today, Fatima Mohammed.
Hi. Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't get your name, lady hosting. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, Firda, all right. Thank you, Firda. Let me turn on my sharing and then my camera, share my screen. Definitely not. Give me just a sec. Let me start the recording. Oopsie. So just to let you know, guys, I'm using 2 accounts, one on my laptop and so yeah. Whoever the host is, please grant permission to record to Coach Fatima, please. I'm using 2 different devices. I'm using my phone and my laptop. You can see my screen. I just need them to grant me permission now. So you said sound is clear. Let's just add image and we are good to go. All right. Can you see me too? Because now you can hear me. Let's make sure you can see me as well. Make sure you stay hydrated, guys. There is nothing more important than water. Thank you so much, Firda, for taking the time to introduce me. So here I am. We gave you the record permission. Okay, let me go ahead and oops. Uno momento, por favor. I can only do it from here. Okay. Excellent. All right. I'll go back to that in a moment. So my screen, I can't really see. Walaikum salam. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Thank you to JISO for hosting me. It's a pleasure to be amongst you today, to contribute to youth around the world. I know that we've got some people from Malaysia, from Saudi Arabia, I think the Middle East in general, but also from Algeria. I've got my fans, my friends there. So thank you all for joining and making it today. When Daisa reached out, he said, like, you know what, I want to work on something that is really important, and then that people I've been speaking for like 10 minutes and it turned out I was muted. Thank you so much, guys. Anyway, I was saying thank you for the invitation. Well, that was kind of recorded. Anyway, so I'm hoping now everybody, yes, I'm going to record it and then they're going to record it. And then later on, we are going both to share it, inshallah, on our ends. I said, thank you so much for the invitation, and it's a pleasure to be contributing to youth. You can hear, not listen. You can definitely hear because sound is on. Just make sure that you turn on your, well, she can't hear me. So can you please tell them to use their audio, to unmute themselves, to use to join in, to dial in via audio so that they can hear the meeting. All right. I don't know. So is it just her? Is it a bunch of other people who can't hear? For those who can't hear, yes, just tell them to join using audio. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. So welcome. I know that I'm supposed to be the guest, but I'm taking over, so I'm kind of the host right now. As I said, I know we have got people from Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, and probably from Algeria as well. So thank you all for making time for it. In Malaysia, I know it's kind of late, so thank you guys for making it. Oh, we've got Morocco. So I'm asking actually, so welcome. And I would like to definitely ask you where you're watching from. So we've got Malaysia, we've got Morocco. What else? Where are you guys tuning in from? Malaysia, Dubai, all right, Kuala Lumpur, Algeria. What else? Turkey. Wow, okay, Morocco. Sudan, hi, Malaysia, okay. Morocco, Algeria. Okay, I see Esma. Nigeria, Turkey, okay. Oman, hi. All right, so we've got a bit of everywhere. Bangladesh, hello, Safai. Malaysia, Yemen, Iraq, okay. So glad to see you all today here, guys. Thank you so much for making it, for taking the time. Morocco, Muscat, another Oman. We got that. That is definitely wonderful. I love having people from different part of the world, and this is what it is for. As I was saying when I was muted, is that when Jaiso reached out, Malaka is from Malaysia. I know. I've been there, but I didn't. Well, I visited only Kuala Lumpur last year. I'm intending on visiting again when the ban is lifted, inshallah. Yes, okay. Malaysia. All right. I don't know what someone said, you didn't say it. I'm not sure which one was it, but so I'm joining actually from Algeria. Thank you to Ferda for introducing me. She said a little bit of everything. What you don't know is what I'm going to talk about in a moment. And the fact is that my journey as a resume writer started from, Becky, Hong Kong. All right. It started there from Malaysia. Where are you from? I'm from Algeria, North Africa. Well, we are African, so yeah, I'm Algerian, Aljazair. And I can do stuff like this in Arabic, English, and French, if asked to. Tunisia, hey there, neighbor. We've got both neighbors now. So we've got Sudan, we've got Morocco, and we've got Tunisia. We don't have Libya, do we? Egypt. Where's Egypt? Egypt is usually always here, but today is not. All right. Before we begin, well, Palestine, hi. You know, Algerians always are big lovers of Palestine. So and on apps. Well, today is definitely, well, you have to pay me if you want to send you the recording. Yeah, inshallah. I'll share it on YouTube later on, inshallah. So as I said, instead of asking questions, like after each one, I would say definitely have your notebooks on standby, take notes, please take notes, write them down. And then if you ever have a question, we'll have a Q&A towards the end, and then you can ask me everything, just so that we are all focused on the webinar, and then we're focused with the questions so that we don't have the same questions over and over again. And of course, please leave feedback when you are done on Jaiso or on my Instagram, inshallah. All right. So this one is called actually Stand Out with a Resume Done, right? And I've been doing it for a few months, and I believe everybody needs to know how to write a resume. And people do take it for granted. They think it's just, you just write your name, your date of birth, and a few things like, oh, where did you study? What did you do? Your latest job, and that's it. It's a little bit more than that. So let me just go ahead and grab my laptop so that it can see it. So in today's webinar, the agenda is like, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey as a resume writer, which started there in Kuala Lumpur, and give you a little brief ideas about Better Ever After and our services. And then we're going to talk about why do we need personal resumes? And what is the difference between a CV and a resume? People think it's the same. Well, it's not. And then personal details, what to do, what not to write. And people do tend to pretty much put everything about themselves on a resume, and that's a big no-no. Another thing is we're going to see is like the right resume, how to order, what to put, what not to put, and just, pretty much everything that you need to know about it. And then we'll see a few tips and tricks. And if you stay all the way to the end, I'll have once in a lifetime offers for you all, inshallah. The objectives, why are we here? Well, to discover and to rectify mistakes. And I know that because I used to make the same mistakes before becoming a writer. And sometimes when I'm just in a rush, I do still make those mistakes. And I receive resumes when we are recruiting for people. We have people sending us resumes, and I see those same mistakes. So I don't want you to make those mistakes too. And craft, I want you to craft, because people think it's just writing. It's crafting. There is an artistic way to it. So how do you craft a more professional and personalized resume? And last, optimize your chances, because the resume is kind of your passport in a job and in the study world. It gets you scholarships, it gets you jobs, it gets you chances. People don't see you, but then they will see your resume, and it's either a yes or no. We want more yeses for you. All right, as I said, if you stay all the way to the end, you will, you'll have some special offers to check. Before we kick this day off, I would like to start with one of my most favorite quotes of all time by Warren Buffett. And he says, the best investment you make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. And people tend to invest in real estate, in God knows what, and then they forget it's like it starts with you. So today you are investing your time. You are investing 2 hours, hopefully not more than that, into learning how to write, craft a better resume, and hopefully that will get you to landing better chances of jobs, again, scholarship, whatever it is that your heart desires. And that's how the chain kind of works of the investment. You've invested 2 hours, and then you've put the work into the resume, and then that gets you something. And then the more you learn, whatever it is that you are learning, the more you're definitely going to earn. Whether it is, financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Whenever you put time, effort, and money into something, it grows and expands. So always keep that in mind. It always starts with you. Invest in yourselves. So, how did Fatima become a resume writer? It actually happened in 2013, and I started online. I was, just someone who loves to write content. I had clients from all over the world. I had people in New York. I had people here and there in Australia. And it was online. It was on freelancer.com, actually. Let me just go ahead and share that with you. And I saw a post by a Malaysian company, and they said like they were looking for resume writers. I've never written a resume before that day. I was like, you know what? I'm a writer. Let me just go ahead and try that. There were over 150, and if you know freelancer.com, like you've got so many people applying for jobs, especially when it's just writing. So I did. I applied, and then I was shortlisted with another 50 people to just go to round 2. And afterwards, we had training for 2 weeks. That week, we have, it's a 7, I think it's a 7 hours difference between Malaysia and Algeria, because it's now 8 there, 8 something, and it's 1 something. I think if it's quarter past, then we are 7 hours apart. And it was always like a.m. It might have like 1 a.m., 12 a.m. And people would be sleeping at home, and I would be just, have my headset on. I'm just trying to go through the training, because it was a real training, and they were very, very professional, very strict about it. And I loved it. And I could tell, it was not, it was not easy. It was not just writing. It had its own ways of doing things, and like you've got formats and you've got stuff. And we were shortlisted to 10 people. So like, you know what? I need to make that 10 people cut. And eventually I did. And afterwards, we moved on to another training. And that's when they gave us the big news, and they said we were only going to choose 2 people out of the 10. And then those 10 people were from all over the world. I was from Algeria. We've got someone from India. We've got someone from Bulgaria. Pretty much everywhere. And I was like, you know what? I will give it a go. What we had is that the man from India, Mr. Ashok, I still remember his name, had over 30 years of experience. And that lady from Bulgaria, she was a CEO of something, of a company, and she also had more experience, basically. So I knew deep down in my heart, like, if anyone is going to get those 2 spots, it's going to be those 2 people. It would be Ashok and it will be her, because they have the experience. But I could either, withdraw and say, no, well, this is not for me, or give it a go, because in my heart, I knew that, I really wanted that chance. I knew that I could do it. So I stayed with them for 2 more weeks of training. And then the big day came in, and Mr. Ajitpal came in, and then he said, guys, you did a wonderful job, but unfortunately, we only had 2 spots. So here's the link, and then go and check it yourself. And it was like a long page, and I had to scroll down, and I knew the 2 names I was going to see. And then it's like, you know what? It's Ashok, and it's that lady from Bulgaria. It's like, but because she demonstrated great skill, and this is something that we've never done before, we are adding Fatima also to the team, because she's definitely someone that we cannot let go. And for me, that was like my big yes. I did it. I definitely did it. And I would always kind of also like to send this message. It's like, sometimes even when you see that your chances are slim, give yourself the chance. Try, go for it, do it. Don't give up until, basically until he says the end, because there's always something for you. And if you believe deep down in your heart that you can do something, then you probably definitely can. And after that, we had like more trainings, and I started having customers from all over the world. I worked with pilots, I worked with football players, I worked with engineers, and so on and so forth. But then it all started working with a Malaysian company in 2013 over an ad on freelancer.com. I clicked, and kind of all brought us to this very day here. Now, enough with me. My first question is, do you have a resume? Yes or no? Just let me know in the comment section, please. Do you have a resume? Yes or no? Do you have one? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Yes. No. Yes. 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 All right. Yes. No. 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 All right. Yeah. All right. Yep. All right. Yes. No. And no. And then where are we going from there? Yes or no? All right. Yes. Okay. So that's question. All right. And no, another no from Ali. I have CV, but I don't think they are the same. We're going to get to that in a moment. I have CV. All right. We'll see what's a CV and what's a resume. Yes. All right. So question number 2. How many of them do you have? How many? Do you have 1? Do you have 2? Do you have 3? Just give me a number. Write it down. 4, 0. Okay. Well, 0 is still number. 2, 3. Just 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. What? 100? No. Come on. Who says 100? 1. Okay. We are not definitely 3. I have 3 or more. Okay. All right. That's good. 3 is good. Okay. 0. Well, it's still a number. It was invented. People put effort into inventing that number. Now, my other question is, why do you need a resume in the first place? Why? What do you need a resume for? What is it for? Don't forget to keep on drinking. You have 5. Okay, great, Saiful. To sell yourself. Okay, hopefully, sell yourself, not really sell. To impress others. It describes you. Job, internship, to introduce myself. Yes. What else? Many information, brand yourself. What else? What else? Why do you even bother? Because it will optimize my chances. Professional presentation, get a job, present myself. It is in my profile. A job. Yes, jobs. Everybody wants jobs. Good. Well, there's nothing wrong with wanting a job. It is your face for companies. Yes, kind of. That's it. They can't see you, Akram, and it's just like, okay, who's this Akram? Oh, well, we have his resume. Employer don't have time. We're going to talk about the time in a moment. It describes your skills. It does pretty much a melange of everything that you've just said. It's a little bit of everything. Now, before I go on, I wanted to introduce our company to you, which is Better Ever After. And a lot of people are talking about happy ever after, but if you don't marry, apparently you don't get a happy ever after. It's like, well, we want a better ever after that you can do if you're a kid, if you are young, if you're an adolescent, if you have a job, if you're married, if you're single, you can still have your happy ever after, whatever your age, whatever your status is. And well, yours truly is the founder and CEO of the company. I had profiles of my people. I've got someone from Saudi who usually handles our WhatsApp communication, and I've got people mostly from Algeria here handling the different departments. What do we offer? We offer coaching, me as being a results coach and a happiness coach, an NLP practitioner, training and workshops, something like this. But then this is kind of a webinar. We're doing it for free. But we sometimes, I actually have an upcoming 7-day workshop for teachers. Skills, mostly editing, writing, proofreading, especially this is the content writing. This is where we do the resume writing. Consulting, I consult on life choices, sometimes also on business. Speaking events, so that's like TEDx, Hot Prize, and like last week we did Girl 20 from Canada. And books. Firda did mention my 2 books at the beginning, so that's pretty much what we do in general. Now, let's go to question 4, which you kind of hinted at during the answers. This is, how much does an employer spend on each resume? How much time? How much time do they spend reading your resume, or at least checking your resume? How much time do you think it is? 1 to 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute. Okay. 2 minutes, 1 minute, 3, 1. Okay. 2 minutes. I love you guys. You are so optimistic. I don't know, 1 hour. Oh, wow. Not much. I think 2 minutes. Okay. The guy who said 1 hour, where do you live? Sometimes, okay, 5, 2 minutes. All right. Okay. Well, 0, 6 minutes, 15 minutes. Give or take. All right. So, what do you think about 10 seconds? I spend more than 1 hour. Hamida, what do you, well, are you HR? Unless you're HR and kind of, I don't know. What do you think about 10 seconds? Do you like 10 seconds? Does it sound, I don't know, enough to you? What do you think about 10 seconds as time? It's possible. Okay. Do you like 10 seconds? Do you think it's enough? Not enough? Absolutely. All right. What else? More stress. No, so bad. Okay. Not enough. Totally not enough. Okay. All right. First glance will give more than not enough at all. It's possible. So, I was just kidding. It's definitely not 10 seconds. No one would do that. But it's 6 seconds. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 seconds. Well, they don't read it. 6 seconds is, I need a paper. I can't. It's like you put your CV and then this is what happens. It's like they have your CV and it's like, well, is it worth going through exactly to scan it, skim through it? Because it's like first impression. It's like when you see someone or when you see a book, you judge it from its cover. 6 seconds. Sitta. 6. Sis. Seis. Six in German. Yes. I can't forget it in Hindi. Ekto, teen, what? Chalak. I don't know. I think I can only count to 5 in Hindi. So, Inam. So, Fatima, is that like, I don't know. If we have, I think we have people from India here. So if you could tell me what 6 is, okay, see? All right, is that it? So basically what happens is you put, Inam is Malay. For Malaysia, I only know terima kasih. That's the only word I kind of picked up from my trip. And it's only like when I came back, there's like, oh, wow, okay, now it makes sense. Everybody was just saying, thank you. Thank you. All right. So you put your resume and then you give it to someone and it's like you go into someone and then they look you up and down. This is exactly what happens when you, I don't know, you try to impress someone and then you go and they look you up and down. That's it. It takes kind of 6 seconds. They either like you, they want to talk to you, they want to employ you, or it's a no from them. So it's not that they read. That's the 6 seconds is what they need to just like, okay, do I need to actually read it, consider further, or no? That's what the 6 seconds for. Then later on, the actual, reading of your resume, it really depends on its length, on the employer and everything. But then that's the time you have to make a good impression. Now, what can you do in 6 seconds usually? Like if you have 6 seconds, what can you do usually if you have 6 seconds? Like I don't know, what could you do in 6 seconds? What could you possibly do? Smile. All right. What else? Check the watch. Jump. All right. Jump out of the window. Cry. Okay. Wave. Hello. Okay. What else? Sleep. Well, you can't sleep in 6 seconds. No one can do that. Sneeze. All right. Alhamdulillah. Drink water. Definitely. Keep drinking water, please. Fix my posture. Yes. All right. Well, convince the HR to read my resume. Well, your resume was probably skip YouTube videos. Yeah, especially the ads. Good. Say hello. Hi. If HR is like somewhere across the web, wash my face. It takes more than 6 seconds if you're a woman. 6 seconds are definitely not enough. Smile. Yeah, definitely. You can definitely do that. So, but then again, when I tell you that your resume has 6 seconds to make an impression, either good or bad, how does that make you feel? How does that make you feel? I don't know. Apart from jumping, please don't jump. You can cough in 6 seconds. Unfair, right? So sad, stressful. What else? Anxious. Definitely. So, well, you could say it's unfair, but then, well, don't be depressed, please, confused. But here's the thing: I would understand. Before I was like, well, 6 seconds. Oh my god! But then now I understand. Like, just imagine you are the employer, and then you have 100 people lined up. You have 100 resume lined up. Would you spend 1 hour, as Hamida said, reading every one of them? They will have all the mistakes, for example, or they won't have the criteria. Yes, you try to be fair, but then in the job business, like in a business, you want to be efficient, you want to be professional. And then I have it like, it's kind of a culture thing as well. Like, when we were recruiting for teachers, one of the guys sent me like his resume in French. It's like, we are recruiting for English teachers, not French. So it's just like, please forward us an English resume. And then he said, well, your email was condescending. And then that's like, guy, dude, this is professional correspondence. I'm not going to say, hi, how are you? How's your mother? How's your cat? How's your neighbors? And how's this? How's that? And then it's like, oh, could you please, I noticed that you wrote in French, but I'm not going to tell you a story. It has to be short and concise. So it's the same thing when you are the employer. You don't have time to check everyone, read through everyone, and scan through everyone. You just need, okay, does it look like something that I want to go through? Yes or no? That's pretty much what it is. Well, it does kind of feel like a mission impossible when we say 6 seconds only, and then everybody said that they can smile, cry, I don't know, drink some water, 6 seconds, but I just want you to take a deep breath in and out. Because that's what we're here today. We are here to make those 6 seconds count. We are here to make the most out of those 6 seconds and to turn those 6 seconds into actually someone reading our resume and giving us a chance. All right. Did you take a deep breath in? Just show me yes, no. Always drink water and take deep breaths, because when we are anxious, when we are stressed, the best thing that can help us is breathing. And breathing can be magical, truly. Like, if you just use it, it could literally transform your lives. Breathing. All right. You came to the right place and you came to the right person, if I may add that, quite humbly. All right. So, question number 5. How do you write a resume? What do you put in it? What is in there? What's in a resume, basically? How do you write it? How do you write a resume? Well, everybody went silent. How do you write resumes, people? What do you put in a resume? Technical question. Well, it's not a technical question. It's like, what do you put in a resume? Experience, skills, education, info about me. See? He knows. Okay. You've all at least sent one resume like in your life. So what do you put? I don't know. Okay. So probably, I don't know. That's why I'm here. Sur un template. Well, don't always follow the template. And that's one of the mistakes people, some about me, make is they follow the template. They follow the word template. Like that. All right. Well, first things first, I'm going to show you some resumes. I'm not sure if you can see them. All right, let me just see. Okay, you can see my screen. These are actually some people that we had from Malaysia. Let's just wait for them. Info, diploma, professional. Yes, pretty much the usual stuff. It's not like you're going to make anything up or you're going to, I don't know, add something from a different world. Should include your profile, summary, personal details, education. We're going to that into details in a moment. Let's just wait for Ahmad Baqi's resume to load for us all, and that we can go through it and then can check what is it that Ahmed did certificates in our skills experience. Yalla, Ahmed, yalla. Okay. Nope. No, you can't. You can't go in. Ahmed Baghi. All right, let me see if I can share it. Le Word ne peut pas effectuer cette action. Why not? Sorry, guys. Oh, it actually has opened, but then in here, I don't want it. Well, you can't see it here. I want it opened in Word. Does it show there? I think it shows. We are going to see the difference between a resume and a CV in a moment. Just give me a second. I want to show you like the actual resume just so that you can see and then you can judge for yourself, because when you are doing it, it kind of doesn't, you don't see it. But then when you look at someone else's, that's when you're like, oh, I see now. Okay, now I want to share and you share. Where is Ahmed? Ahmed. Yeah, Ahmed. All right. So you should be able to see Ahmed in a moment. All right. So Ahmed is actually from Petalinjaya. That's not his real details in a way. But all right, let's go through things. Just look. I've got his name, got his personal details, and then we've got his objectives. Okay, you following with me? And then we've got his experience. All right. Malaysia Airlines. This one was technical engineer. And then we've got professional background. A lot of professional background. And then education and credentials. And then references. What do you think is the problem with Ahmed's? Where are the mistakes in this resume? If you could check. Long articles. Okay. What else? Long. So long. Okay. What else? I mean, just imagine you are the employer and then you get this one. Would you actually read all of it? More details. Okay. Lots of details. Yes. Complicated a little bit. Okay. Too general. Long. Well, it could be a CV, so he can get away with it. Not arrange well. Arrangement. Okay. Write in English. Manque dat. So he's missing dates. Maybe. Could be. Now, can you see the new one? So colorful, complicated. Well, it really depends. Now look at this one. Wait for the screen to be shared. Okay. So we've got his name, we've got his objective, we've got a summary, we've got skills, educational credentials, technical. Well, this one is a CV, by the way. This is not a resume because it's a long one. Professional experience. But then how does this one compare to the other one? How is this one compared to the other one? Looks so impressive. more detailed. Okay. Also too long. This is a CV. So a CV, a curriculum vitae can be long, can be up to like 10 languages. Tidy. All right. And then this guy, organized. See, like my last client with the resume with the Malaysian company was a senior who had over 30 years of experience. He had a CV of over 10 pages, and he wanted us to put it in 5 pages, which was like mission impossible. I could only do it in 7 pages. Like it was so impressive. But then clear and organized. So the first thing is, I have this saying, what I always say is like, let me but the same, I think I saw something. She was what? Same. No, long is because it's a CV, it's not a resume. So CVs can be long. Resumes, not really. We'll see that in a moment. Let me show you. I think her name is Saravanan, but I've never been able to get it right, so sorry. So look at this one with me as well, and then tell me what's wrong with it. From the titles he mentioned, you're going to realize that this person probably has the skills. Yes, that's what we're going to see. Okay, so this is, so people from Malaysia, please, I don't know, correct me if I can't really, but then Saravanan, I don't know. Sorry, I'm really sorry, but it's not the type of resumes that I'm sorry, the names that I'm used to. So just look, and we're going through. We've got her address, we've got professional. Oh, it's an Indian name. Okay, professional, preface, experience, qualifications, additional training, scholastics, employment scan, attainments, projects handled. Well, that's just, well, sort of thing, going back to her. And what else? Just a lot of attainments. And then computer skills, and then personal dossier. What do you think of this? What do you think? Looks so difficult to read. Yes, so confusing. Font is small. So you've seen, like, for Baki, you've seen both of them, like the. Okay, I think I stopped sharing the screen, right? No. Can you still see my screen? No, I think I stopped. Give me the full thing. Yep. Share screen. And I'll go back. All right, here we go. All right. So as I said, now it's back on because I closed the other ones, the resumes. Long is not necessarily good. Many things is not necessarily good. We're going to see that in a moment. So why do we need a resume? First things first, we need a resume because that's your ID. It's like, if you want to travel, you need a passport in an airport. If you want to go to the city hall, you need your ID. If you want to drive, you have your car, you need your driving license. And that's in a professional world. You cannot go there on your own. They won't take your passport. They won't take your driving license. They need your resume. That's what they need from you. That's your professional identity for people who are looking to hire you, to have you there as an intern, as a student, whatever it is that you wish for, right? And it reflects your skills, it reflects your expertise, your competence, and your worthiness. Do you deserve this chance? Yes or no? Pretty simple. Number 2 is like, If it is well done, it can give you advantage, precedence in getting promotions, better salary, sometimes like different positions. Definitely, if when a resume, I'm going to tell you about my own experience actually as well later on. It says like when you have a good resume, it literally boosts your chances. It could like double them, if not triple them and quadruple them. And then 3, it attracts new and better, because sometimes you don't want to stay in the same place. You want new things. You want to explore new venues and new horizons. And it gives you that. It's just like, oh, wow, that's an impressive resume. We definitely would like to check that person. And then 4, it provides proof. You know, if you want to go to a company or you want to join something, it's like, how do we know what you did? So the resume shows them like he did this, did this, did this, did this, did this. It's like a testament to everything that you have done. Hopefully in numbers, we're going to talk about that. Now, to answer that pressing questions, like what is a CV and what is a resume and what is the difference, is that in format, the resume is personalized. Let's just say you are applying to 5 different companies. You send 5 different resumes. You don't have to write them from scratch, but you have a template kind of, and then you just move things a little bit around, because each company is looking for different things. Even if it's like the same position, let's just say I'm a teacher and I want to apply for an English teaching position, and I've got a British company, let's say a Canadian company and a Dutch company. So the British company is just looking for English teacher. The Canadian one is looking for an English teacher who knows, for example, Arabic. And the Dutch one is looking for someone who has background in exam training. So the resume I sent to these people is kind of different, because this one only kind of stresses the major thing they want is just English. So you want to tell them that you've been teaching English for that many years, you've got certificates in teaching, and so for the second one, you want to tell them that you speak Arabic. And then the third one, you want to highlight the fact that you've been doing exams and stuff like that. So it's the same kind of experience, but the things you highlight are different. Now, the CV is general, all right? It's kind of wholesome. It's pretty much everything that you have done. It could be in a chronological order. We're going to talk about the order in a moment as well. And that's pretty much it. You can send the same CV to different people. But then here's the thing. Some companies, not every company kind of needs a CV. Most of them, like they say a CV because sometimes I think even companies don't understand what is the difference. But then if you're looking for a job, go straight to the point. The resume serves you better. If you are mostly a senior, someone who has, I would say, 7, probably 10 years and more of experience, go for a CV, especially if you're looking for senior positions, promotions, and stuff like that. That's what is going to do the trick, the CV. Now, the thing is the length. CV, a resume is 1 to 2 pages maximum. All right. Sometimes even like you will have companies that say forward a 1-page resume. Sometimes it says in the description, it's like 1 page. If you put 2 pages, that's one of the reasons that's just like, okay, they didn't even read the description. 1 page. Now the CV can be long. Literally, it can go on for, I don't know, as long as you've been working, as long as you've been doing things. And of course, you don't have to write like your whole life story, but then it still has its own order. It still has like the bullet points and then the stuff. Now the use, as I said, the resume is targeted. You are targeting that company, that Canadian company who's looking for just an English teacher, or you are targeting that Malaysian company who's looking for someone who has multilingual skills, who can speak Arabic, English, for example, and Malay. So you are going to highlight the language, and who's looking for someone who did preferably a master's, because usually they have masters. So you put it first, master's. So you have the preference, right? In comparison to someone who just has a bachelor's, right? And then the CV is unchanged. You can send the same CV to everybody, but then again, not everybody wants to receive a CV. Not everybody wants to receive 10 pages, because in a CV, You could have, like, for example, I can have, if I write my CV, and I don't have a CV, actually, I prefer using resumes because unless I'm applying for speaking to be a keynote speaker, I don't want to just list everything. If I am applying for, if I would write my CV, it would have my experience in business. It would have my experience as a coach, as an author, as a speaker, as a teacher, as an examiner, as a resume writer. So each one of these 7 things will have its own section. So my experience would kind of be long. And also my education, because I'll have like my master's in English, and I will have the coaching that I did, and I will have this and this and this and that. So it will be long, right? But then if, let's just say I am, I will send my CV to a teaching company. I was just like, my God, we don't need her as like, what? Why do we care about her as a writer? This is not really none of our business. People think it's impressive. It's not. It can be. You can tell them later during the interview, but then during the resume, make sure it's just focused. It is targeted. It's tailor made. It's like, well, I don't have any, I don't know, a buyer here, but then if you want to buy clothes, you want them to fit you. You don't want standard one size that fits all, because the one size that fits all could be loose on someone, too tight on someone, too short, too long on someone. So that's, the resume makes sure that people say, oh, he wrote this resume for us. This is what the resume tells people, that you put in the effort. Of course, again, as I said, you don't have to write 10 different resumes. It's just that one, and then you tweak it. We're going to see that in a moment. Now, as I said, the resume is a brief summary of your skills and your experience, 1 to 2 pages, but the curriculum vitae, it is more detailed. It stretches on for long. You can literally just say all the things you want to say about yourself, and it doesn't change. It could literally be like, that's how you would inspire your cover letter from your CV rather than your resume. Now, question 6. What personal information do you include in a resume or a CV? What personal information do you include? Let me just deactivate my camera for a second. What personal information do you include in a CV? Waiting for answers. Okay. Date of birth, we can see. Well, you can see my screen. Data CV. Yes. Status. Skills, experience, phone number. No, well, skills and experience are not personal details, though. Yeah, skills and experience. Name, date of birth. Repeat the question. What personal information do you include in a resume? Name, date of birth, hobbies. Well, okay, a little bit of everything, kind of. Full name, address, email, number. Okay, all of that, and kind of, we'll see that in details. So the first, let's go through personal details, and I'm gonna call out the names, and then you'll tell me if it's a go or a no. Address and country. Would you put your address, your home address, and then your country on your resume? Yes or no? Go. Okay, nice. Yes, yes, yes. Go. All right. Yeah, yeah, no, yes, yes. Well, it's kind of both a yes and a no. It really is yes and a no. Now, let me tell you why. If you are applying within the same country, if you are Malaysian and you're applying in Malaysia, you can just go ahead and put in all of the all of your address. If you are applying from abroad, yes, they can refuse it if they don't like your address. Now, here's the thing. Remember that the person who receives the resume is a human. He's not a computer. He's got feelings. He is, I don't know. I don't want to be unfair to people, but then not everybody is as professional as you want them to be. And HR is just a bunch of people like you and me, all right? So they have feelings, they have preferences, they like people, they don't like people, and they have stereotypes. Okay, so if you say Africa, usually when I say from Africa, it's like, but Africa's not black. It's like, look at me, I'm not black. All right, I am African, I am not black. And it's like, yeah, but then, so usually, and again, it really depends on where you are applying. If you are applying within the same country, for Malaysian, you don't have an issue, go ahead, put the entire address because they need you. Especially sometimes they put preferences. We want people from Malacca, we want people from Kuala Lumpur, we want people from, what was that beautiful place, Georgetown? Yes, that's, so you can just go ahead and highlight. It's like, yeah, well, I'm from there. If you are not really sure about it, now here's the thing, because we've got people from different places, and let's be honest, human race is still not at its greatest up to this day. Like, for example, here in Nigeria, we still have, I won't call it racism, but it's kind of preferences. So people in the north think that they are better than people in the south, people from the west, I don't know what they say people about people from the east, and so on. So usually when you say, because the north, the south here in Algeria is a Sahara, it's a desert. And people think that, well, if you live in a desert, it's like Saudi Arabia. People think it's just a desert. There's just so much more to the Gulf, to Saudi, than just the desert and the camels. It's just like, what do you know? Well, people can know. So here it really depends on what you think. If you, for example, if you are applying abroad, I don't actually tell people I'm from Algeria, because Algeria is not an English-speaking country. Like, just imagine me putting that on a CV or on a resume, and I'm sending it to a company that is looking for English teachers. The first is like, Algeria? I've never heard of this country, which is mostly what people say. It's like, but Algerians are Arabs. Ugh, whatever. So I am literally killing my chances even before I get one. No, I don't put it. And then I have an interview, and then I let them to hear me, and they're just like, where are you from? It's like, well, I'm from Algeria. It's like, wow. Yeah, that's what I said. Again, like, people have, you never know, because I don't know. Again, as I said, they are HR, and HR is just like you and me. Now, what about a picture? Is it a yes or not? So it really depends. Here, it's I will leave it to you. It's like, if you think that, again, if you are within the same country, put the whole address, unless you know that people don't like your city, for example. If you are from a different country, it depends. Do you think your country will affect the whole thing? Yeah. If it does not affect, go ahead and put it. Like, if you are Australian and they're looking for an English teacher, the first thing is like Australia, so this like tick. But then it really depends. Now, picture, I see people say no picture, same thing. They may yes. So the picture, yes, I don't know, which is kind of both as well. But then, as your friend said, maybe they don't like you, and I'll go back to the factor that we are humans. And then here's the thing: we're going to talk about the picture in details, but sometimes people put. Where's my phone? All right. People that put that kind of picture, it's like selfie and the wall khalfi is like that, and or it's like very dark place, or their picture where they're like it's like their ID picture. They put really bad pictures, and again, just imagine you are that person who is hiring. It's just like, you try not to be judgmental, you try to judge people based on their skills, but you're human, and it's like, oh my god. And if you can check HR stories after each meet, it's like, oh my god, did you see their glasses? Oh my god, did you see her eyes? Or did you see that? Or did you see it? So it really depends. If you put a nice picture, which we're going to talk about, do that. Yes, some people are not professional. Don't expect it from everybody. Now, contact details. Yes, and it must be professional picture. Yes, we're going to talk about a professional picture because sometimes you are killing your chances. Like, oh my God, I don't have any luck. They're not giving me any job. Well, sweetheart, it's you. You are ruining your chances. You are doing this to yourself, not them. So, contact details. Saiful said yes. Contact in demand. Yes. Totally sound. Yes. Yes. It should be formal. Yes. Yes to contact details because otherwise, how are they going to get hold of you? Description. I am tall. I am beautiful. I've got blue eyes. I've got sleek hair. I don't know. I'm 20. Well, no one is 24 kilos unless you're an adolescent. Or, yeah. No. Okay. So please don't describe yourself unless, again, as Akram said, you are applying for a modeling job. Or, for example, I think 2-3 months ago, I worked with a footballer, and in football, they need height and weight. So in height and weight, that's what kind of you need to put that as a description. But apart from that, don't do it. Last thing is status and age. I am married. I am single. I am divorced. I am, I don't know, spoken for. I'm just waiting for destiny. I don't know, waiting for Prince Charming. Kind of. Yes, I think. Yes, yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. No need for that. Okay. I don't think that's important. Okay. What else? Spoken for. Yeah, well, we have it. In Arabs have it. I'm not sure if you have it in India and people in Turkey. I mean, if you're not Arabs, we've got that. You know, if you like, you can be single, you can be engaged, or you can be spoken for. Like, you know, you just like, we like your daughter for our son, and you just hanging in the air. Spoken for. Hakin عليها. All right. So it's kind of, I know, because again, there is always an exception. Sometimes they have jobs, we say like single people only, and I'm like, single people, this is my chance. I'm single. Or they say, we want someone from who's younger than 25. It's like, yes, I'm 24 in a few months, a few days. And or we want someone who's married and who's got 2 kids, for example. Just like I've got that. I've got that ticket. So if it serves you, again, go for it. Here in Algeria, we've got for the teachers, people who teach in primary, middle, and secondary school. They've got like a grading system, and they've got points. And if you are married, you've got more points than a teacher who's single, so you can be hired. And if you're married with a kid, you have more chances than someone who's just married with no kids. And if you have 3 children, you definitely have more chances than someone who has only 1 child. So really here is contextual. Now let's go to your name. Always write your full name with big caps, bold, don't italic it, and center, and then put a title. Like speaker, for me, it's like Fatima Mohammed, speaker, coach, author. You could write, I don't know. Here, I would say, do praise yourself as like seasoned professional, experienced engineer. I don't know. Definitely don't go for beautiful something, but then go for something that would capture your experience. What are your experiences? What do you do, guys, by the way? It's like, what do you do? What are your specialties? Let's try to see if we can make some titles for some of you. If you're a student, well, talk about your major of studies. For example, you are, I don't know, what are you studying? An engineering student, for example, and engineering, especially, you're still not there, but on the way. Pilot, biochemical engineering, a student. So you can just go ahead, biochemical engineering. That's like, that should be a title. That would kind of sum up handsome student and teacher. Yeah, that's too long. And then people are like, oh, well, I think Akram can definitely understand Arabic. That's basically what it is. Like, you're just praising yourself. Seasoned, experienced, professional from Yemen. Okay, so you understand. Engineering, electrical student. Don't take off the student, just electrical engineering. Just put that, electrical engineering. Try to opt for 2 words. If it's something like if you are describing, for example, like a teacher, just say seasoned teacher, professional teacher, something like that. But then if you have more than 3 titles, I'm not gonna describe them. I'll just like in my case, speaker, coach, and author. If I have something like that, I'll say like happiness coach, for example. All right. So first thing is you have your full name, big caps, in the middle, it is bold, and it has a title. With a title, you can make it smaller, you can definitely make it italics, but then go for fonts that can be read. Business administration graduate. Take off the graduate, like again, take off the student. Don't say student, because they will read and then they'll find out you're a student. Don't tell them you're a student there in the title. In there, just state your major, your specialty, what you're doing. All right, just tell them, trick them to keep on reading. So business administration, or a business administrator, agriculture scientist, that's it. So you can add adjective. Yes, professional civil engineer. Yeah, can definitely go for a beautiful adjective. I think that's one of the offers I have things that can help you with that. Now, contact information. All right, make sure that you always have your, okay, wait, let me just go ahead and see that if I'm an engineer and I'm applying for a teacher job, just say engineer, professional engineer, seasoned engineer, experienced engineer. That's it, because you kind of have both. And then your resume, your education and your experience will tell them that you have this, you have that, and you have that. Now, again, as I said, in your contact information, it's like straight after your name, people need to see your phone, your contact information. Some people make that mistake of putting their contact information all the way to the end. You know, sometimes you want it to be aesthetic, but it could be like, you know, where do we get this person? Where do we find them? So make sure it's just there. They can see it. It's like, okay, I like this person already. Let me just, you know, okay, I can call them. This is how I can get in touch. They don't have to look for us like, oh, where is his number and what is it? So your phone number, always put an international code, even if it's within the same country. I do that even when I don't actually usually apply here, but then I always have my international code included in the phone number. And then an email, a professional email. We're going to go back into professional emails and how to write them. LinkedIn, if you want to put in a profile, yes, I will give you everything. I will give you samples. Don't worry. I'm just, you know, talking about details, and then I will give samples. Profiles. If you are applying for a teacher job, don't put your Facebook profile where you share, I don't know, chicken masala recipes, or, you know, kids smashing tables or stuff like that. You know, just, you know, take it easy. Put on a professional website, a LinkedIn or your own personal website. If you want to use your Instagram, make sure that your Instagram is not about, I don't know, again, you're an engineer and your Instagram is about, you know, makeup and all of that stuff. They don't actually match. Or we're going to talk about a DJ in a moment. And then a personal nice picture. Just look at the guy. He looks very sleek. Okay. Now a personal photo. To put or not to put a personal photo. Now, if you want to put it, don't put the one on the ID. We will talk about the email in a moment, Muna. Yes. Because I don't have my ID here. It's there. Well, my ID kind of looks nice, so I don't mind. But I had, I think, like the one I took in primary school, it's just like I had my eyes. It was just like, oh my God. Like, so you look shocked, or you look like, oh, you've never seen a photographer before. So that, you know, just skip that. Don't use that. Don't be dull. A lot of people are still using the face me here kind of picture. Play with your picture. No selfies, please. And no duck face. And no this. And no filter. God, please put on. I don't know who thought about creating Snapchat, but they definitely didn't do the world a great thing, because now everybody is like filtered. Don't filter your CV pictures, please. they don't look professional. All right. Even if you try to look, just use the blurry, the glowy thing, they don't work. All right. Don't use like the upright angle. I'm not sure how. Have light. Do it in a light, like preferably like natural light, sunlight. That would be great. Try to have fun with it. So it's like have a picture that is compelling, that kind of conveys what you do. Just like when people say, it's like, oh well, I don't know. You are trying to apply for an engineer position and you put your picture with your head, I don't know, wrapped. It's like it looks like you have a headache. You are not telling them, hi, I'm just like, I am bored, I am sick, and I took this picture. And then it's just like, oh my God, they didn't hire me. Of course they wouldn't hire you. And then just trying to make sure that it is expressive. I think you can definitely go online and figure out how some examples to imitate. If you have a good phone, go for it. Do it at home, do it yourself. You probably already know your favorite, your best angle. Just go ahead and do it yourself. If not, invest in headshots. Go to a professional photographer, not necessarily an expensive one. Or if you have a friend who's good with photography, just tell them to do some, take some good headshots of you, some good pictures, and just post it. And again, what I said, don't use it if you think that it will judge you. Now I think this one would be probably more to the Muslims, kind of, because sometimes you have that issue if you have a hat scarf on, and people are just like, she has a hat scarf on. But my scarf is not the one who's going to teach, or my scarf is not the one who's going to speak at an event. So I know that the scarf is kind of not important to me, but then again, people can be judgmental. So what I do is I would just send my resume, my CV to people without a picture, and then we have an interview, because they already, once they read the CV, if they call you, they already like you. They already kind of are interested. It's a 50-50 chance. So then you have an interview, and then they realize, like, hey, well, you have a scarf on. It's like, oh, well, for guys, if you have the beard, kind of the same thing, because again, people see the beard, it's like, oh my God. And you know that we don't have the best pictures thanks to media. So I would say avoid that. Again, if you know of any kind of these things, stay away. But then if you know that even with your hijab or even with your beard, you can still, make it, you can nail a picture, it looks expressive, it is compelling, and people love it, go for it. Now let's go to email addresses. And I think my last event had like 2,000 people subscribing, and I check, because I love to check where people are from, and I've got a little bit of everywhere, and I see email addresses. And I don't know about you all, but we've got a lot of things going on. It's like the princess of Narnia at gmail.com, Pika Pika at outlook.fr. I don't know, Mojo Jojo, stuff like that. I mean, I don't know where people come up with these things, but yeah, The Rock 3.0, I don't know, Billie Eilish of Saudi Arabia, the real Fatima Mohammed, WWU, what's up? I don't know. Don't do that, people. And then you've got the numbers. Everybody, like, if no one knows when you were born, they will know when they see your emails, like 0709. It's like, take it easy. And then the punctuation. I receive emails that are this long. Well, you can even see it, like they're this long, seriously, because you've got a dash, and then you got an underscore, and then you got God knows what. Good, alhamdulillah, thank God you cannot put commas in email addresses. Otherwise, people would like commas and a semicolon and a colon. Take it easy, people. I mean, just imagine if you name yourself, Snow White, I don't know, something like that, like Snow White 2002 at Gmail something. what would the recruiter say? She's like, man, I'm not sure. I mean, she looks good on CV, but then does it feel right to be to be emailing Snow White? So always use your full name, preferably the first letter of your first name. So Fatima, just F, and then the full family name. Okay, so fmohammed@gmail.com. If that's taken, you can add a letter to your first name, Fa Mohammed, Fat, and like if that's whole taken, like Fatima Mohammed or something, like, or you can switch them. All right, but then just use your name and I don't know, stay away from numbers. I know, like, my favorite number, and I like this, and it's my power number, it's my lucky number. It doesn't have to go on your CV. It doesn't have to go on your resume. It does not have to be on your email address. All right. So just stick with that for your email address. Now, after, so you've got your name, you've got your title, and then you've got your personal details, and then you have the objective. Why are you writing a diverse resume? So the objective doesn't have to be this long. It's not a paragraph. And then we've seen with Baqi and with the lady that I can't pronounce her name, it was like, oh, it was too long. And she's like, oh, well, if you can't speak about yourself in 3 to 4 sentences, well, then you don't have a job. Yeah, that's what I said. Like, you play with it. No, because it's probably taken. So you play with it. So for example, if F Mohammed is taken, you add Fa. If not, just flip it. So you will start with M Mohammed, مثلا, M Fatima. So you just play with it. It is bound to Fatima. Now, as I said, be professional and personal at the same time. Don't talk just about the job, and don't just talk about yourself in the objective. It's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of both, sorry. So it's like, if it's 3 to 4 sentences, it's 2 sentences for each. 2 sentences for personal, and it's 2 sentences for professional. Now, let them know who you are. Okay, this is your best shot at bragging. It's like, professional or experienced engineer with 10 years of doing this and this and that, and achieving this and this and that in this domain. That's 2 sentences. Okay, that's when you put in your biggest numbers there. Yeah, like your experience, your certification, the best thing that you have, put it in the objective. It could be like, because we're going to talk about what to put. Is it experience or education first? Which one first? So it really depends. So whichever of those you have the best. For example, if you have a PhD, so like PhD holder with an experience of this. If you have a PhD but you've never worked, so your PhD weighs more than your experience at this point, and then you can use it to your advantage. And then list 1 or 2 objectives, like why and what can you do to this company. It's like, I'm looking to invest my experience, my rich background in doing what for this company? What do you want to do to this company? And how are you going to help this company, basically? Right? And then be concise and precise. Again, you don't have to write it in long sentences. It could be 2, 3, 4 sentences maximum. I will give you a full resume that has a template, and it has like the objective, and then you can tell how everything we are going to see is applied to that. So bear with me. Now, next, like, we finished. So we've got the name, we've got our title, we've got our personal information, and we've got the objective. Which part do we put? Do we put our education first, or do we put our experience first? And then this is one of the biggest questions and the most recurrent one. So which one? What I would tell you is, it depends on relevancy. So if you are applying for a teaching job, okay, and you have 3 years of work as a DJ at weddings or at parties, you're not going to put the 3 years of DJing first, because it is irrelevant to the job that you're applying to. So relevancy. And then again, if you want to apply to a teaching job as an engineer, we've got an engineer but you've never taught as an engineer, like engineering before. So the first thing is, you're going to put your education, because you have the master's or the PhD or the bachelor's in that field that they are looking for. All right. So if the experience is relevant first, if it's related to the job, put it first. So you've got your objective and then put experience. But then if the education is more relevant, is more related, and is kind of bigger, put it first. So because sometimes people do care about diplomas and certificates and all of that. Now, how do you order it? So I have a lot of experience and I have a lot of education and I have a lot of diplomas. Again, from the most relevant to the least relevant. All right, the one thing that is related to what you're applying for. And from the most recent to the oldest. Don't do like some people like start with 2007 and then 2009. Always start with 2020. And then 2018, 25, 2015. Well, we didn't have anything back then. So always start with the most recent because people want to know what you're doing currently. Don't let them wait. Because usually when you start, you kind of start small and you start doing something that is, I would say, not insignificant, but then it's just a little bit not what you're going for now. All right. So always go. Same thing for a master's. Don't tell them that you had high school and a bachelor's and a master's and a PhD. Start with PhD and then master's. And then you don't have to list all of them. You don't have to say, I did PhD, master's, bachelor's, especially if they are in the same field. If they are in the same field, don't put all of them. Just put the highest, probably the two highest ones that you've had, the two most recent, and that's it. Okay. And then, as I said at the end, it's like go with the most impressive, the most attention grab. It's like if I see worked, for example, Google, I will start with Google, even if you work there for 2 months or 2 weeks. What about students who don't have experience? That's what they do. They put on their education first because their education is the most relevant. Their education is the one that is related to the job, to the internship, to the opportunity that they're seeking. This is to say, you are applying for a scholarship, a PhD scholarship, and you've never worked, but then that's what you need. You need your education first. Now, experience that matters. We'll talk about, can you please note that question and I will answer it later on, please, inshallah, because that's what I said at the beginning. Let's not stop because of the questions. Let's just make sure that we put on everything here and then we move on to the questions. Now, when you are putting your experience, some people have like massive experience, but they don't know how to express it. And they are the ones who are unfair to themselves. So use strong action verbs. A lot of people's like taught, worked, I don't know, did. It's like enlisted, I maintained, I achieved, I trained, I managed, I directed. It shows that you did something. It shows that you've achieved something. Use bullet points and then like use numbers for your advantage. Like how long have you been teaching? How long have you been studying? How many courses, for example, did you have? How many students did you have? How many employees did you work with? How many teams? How many events? Numbers. So if you see like the examples that I have, instead of saying worked at school as teacher. So this is too general, and that's what people usually like. It's like, okay, so they only need to do what I did. No, we need to really know the details. Trained 3-year students as at a Dutch school. So instead of saying worked at school as teacher, trained 3rd-year students at a Dutch school. Trained, I didn't just teach them, I trained them. Who did I train? 3rd-year students, not 1st year. Where? At a Dutch school. It is more specific. And then like the second one, worked in IT lab. Everybody can work at an IT lab. But then it's like supervised, maintained, and managed the performance of IT materials in 10 labs. I did this, this, and this. Of what? Of IT materials where in 10 different IT labs, not just one, in 10. So you are showing quantity of what it is that you're doing. And also quantity with quality. Instead of saying, taught English to adults. Trained 3 classes of 25 students each. Wow. Intensively over 3 months. I'm just being very specific, in preparation for the Cambridge PET exam. It is very specific, and it tells people what you did during that period of time. I did this, 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 this. Don't be afraid. It's like, oh no, it has to be short. It can be two lines, but it has to have the things that you actually did. Quantitative. Now, how many of you, I think, have sent out resumes and CVs to employers, to universities, to I don't know, to recruiters, and they got a no, they got a rejection, or sometimes you get nothing. I mean, you send out 200 times, 200 emails, and you receive one reply, and it's usually a no, or you receive nothing at all. How many of you had that before? Or you rejected before? I have. I know I have. Like, you don't always get things from the first shot. Definitely, you have to do it over and over and over again. And then sometimes when you have the no, or when you have the rejection, or when you have nothing at all, I mean, you feel bad. And Jimmy Valvano here says, don't give up. I mean, don't stop, because failure and rejection are the first step to succeeding. Now, yes, you could be sending the wrong resume, but also that just could be the wrong opportunity for you. And then some people are just like, enough. I had so many people say no to me. Khalas, I am done. I'm over with this. I don't want to do it again. And it's just like, you feel so bad. Yes, rejection is not nice. No is not nice. But what I know from deep repetitive experience is that whenever there is a no, there is a yes that is just right down the corner. There is a yes that is waiting for you to just push one more time, to send one more CV, to send one more resume, to try one more time. So that's what I want you to also bear in mind. It's like the no and the rejection is not really about you. Sometimes, well, it's their loss. They are losing someone who's as wonderful and as great as you. And sometimes, well, again, it could be your resume, so you have to check that. But then sometimes the better, bigger chance is right after that one that just, that one that kind of crushed you. That's like that big no that you were upset about. So when it happens, just take a deep breath and try another time. Never stop. Resume or resume, in personal or professional life, always try again. All right. So I want to hear now skills. You said like we need to include skills, but we have what? We have soft skills, we have hard skills, and we have transferable skills. Oh, well, I'll tell you about the transferable skills. But then the soft skills, as you already know, they are the ones that you are born with. Communication skills. Some people just know how to talk to others. You have leadership skills. Like, I don't know, sometimes even as children, you see that there's one child who's leading the others, and then the others are following. It's just like kind of an inborn thing, all right? Interpersonal communication, one, problem solving. Like, there is someone who's just like, you give them an issue, you give them a problem, like, oh, let's think about a solution. And then there is someone who's like, oh my God, I have a problem. And then he makes it into 10 different problems. You've got brainstorming. So some people are really good with multiplying and bringing out ideas. So this is something that they are born with. This is something that is innate. And it also shows that you can be great anywhere, because if you have communication skills, if you have interpersonal skills, you can use it in this company, you can use it in that company, you can use it in that company. Now, hard skills are the ones that you earn, the ones that you kind of put in some work into, like learning languages, like computing, taxing, accounting. These things you have to definitely learn. I would say everybody can learn them if you want, if you have your mind on a set of skills. It's like, all right, I want to learn how to design things, or how to make softwares. You can put the effort, the time, sometimes even the money, and learn how to do it. Now, what about transferable skills? Now, transferable skills are a mixture of both. there are some soft skills and some hard skills that you can take with you from one job to another job. How? Let me give you an example. So when I was working with Lincoln, a British college, I wanted to move to a Canadian college. I didn't like the Brits anymore, so I wanted to move. I wanted to change places. And the Canadians were looking for teachers, but they said, well, they were looking for English teachers. But then I also knew that as a college of excellence, they also need what? They need Cambridge examiners, speaking examiners. And I had that. So, and it was like I had that with the British college already. So what I did, I really highlighted that in my resume. It's like, I am a Cambridge speaking examiner. So, okay, you can have me as both an examiner and as a teacher. And of course, I have a master's, and I have this, and I have this, and I have that. And I got my acceptance letter within the week. I got my interview, and I was like, oh yes, we need examiners. But that was the thing that I showed them that I have a hard skill training that I did with Cambridge, that I can take from the current job to this job that they are offering. Now, what about you? You say, it's like, what about me, Fatima? I'm not an examiner. You read the description. Like some people just see like engineer post, and then they just go ahead and say, read the description. Every description, yes, there are similarities, but every description has something unique about it. And then when you read it, you really find out what that employer is looking for. And that's how you're going to use it. So if they are for example, looking for an engineer who knows I don't know, who's proficient in languages, you can use this. Like, oh, I already know Arabic, English, French, for example. So I can use it, even though I'm an engineer. I have this, but I have this extra. I can move it from my current state and I can transfer it to you. If you want, for example, a teacher, or I don't know, an administrator, let's say, who is good with all Word Office suite and let's say Adobe After Effects, and why not Zoom? So you just go ahead. It's like, I've ran, or I had, so you just put it in the experience. Like, I've used this Zoom, for example, to hold meeting with 2,000 people. I've used After Effects to make this, and this design. So they see that, okay, this is what we're looking for, and they have it. Now, don't lie and say that you have things that you don't have, because you probably get caught up during an interview. We're going to talk about that in a moment. So make sure, because a lot of people, when it comes to the skills, they put the skills on their own, and then like they have a section like creativity, leadership, confidence. I have this, I have that, I have this, I have that. It's too much, and maybe they don't even need them. I don't know if you have applied on LinkedIn before, but then when you apply on LinkedIn, it shows you which skills that you have. And literally for every job, there's a new skill set, and priority kind of is different. So it's the same thing for resumes. Change the skill set, and then at least change the order and the priority of the skill set according to the job description. Read it. And this is what I said about, you have one resume, but you can use it in different ways. So one of the things that you can change is the order of experience and education. So one job you have more experience in, and one job you have more education in. So you just change. One job needs this kind of skills, and then the other one is looking for this kind of skill set. So you change. You just put these things in different orders, so that to show them. So when they are skimming those 6 seconds, they will see the keywords, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the keywords that they need. If you have 10 years as a DJ and they're looking for an engineer, it's like 10 years DJ, not relevant. Bye. Now, what does a professional resume do for you? It makes sure that you get selected, at least for round 2, which is the interview. All right, because that's the first step. You need to get through that. So you open your resume, and it's like, oh wow, we like that. We want to talk. We want to hear more about that person. It will help you find jobs and opportunities faster. It will increase your chances and your salary. It will portray you as an achievement-oriented, Not as someone who has 10 years, but then as someone who's done this, and this and that. All right. And it highlights and shows what you can bring to the table, because every place, university, school, company, they're looking for their own good. Yes, they want people, like they want to give people money, but then they're going to give people that money so that they can do their job for them, to help them. They want to help themselves more than they want to help you. That's basically what it is. All right. So how can your resume tell them that you will be the right person to help them? I always give uh the um, um the example of Ahmed and Ali, and I always say, like, Ahmed could have 10 years of experience and Ali 5 years of experience, but Ali will get the job faster, he will have a better salary, and he will be promoted. And Ahmed will be like, oh my God, but Ali only has 5 years. They are cheating me. This is unfair. But then his resume could have shown him as more achievement. It could show that in those 5 years, he did more than Ahmed did in 10 years. But then not because Ahmed was not working, but then because Ahmed's resume shows him as someone who did not really do much, who said, taught for 10 years, worked in a lab for 10 years, did this for 10 years. But then Ali said, I trained, I did this, I achieved this. It's like, wow, that's what we need. Now, what is in a professional resume? Why does resume not get selected? The number one reason is grammar and vocabulary and spelling mistakes. A lot of people think that, I can just go ahead and start writing, but then 77% of the reasons why resumes don't get chosen is because they contain grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes. How many of you does proofreading, checks their English, checks their Arabic, checks their language, or get someone else to check? Because, as a teacher and as a writer, I see like a lot of people, even if they are great speakers, sometimes they make mistakes. I as a writer, as an author, when I was writing my book, when I was doing the audiobook, I found mistakes. And sometimes it was like they were typos, but then someone's like, I just, for example, I would write the then with an E instead of an A. So that still counts as a mistake. But then grammar is really important. Grammar literally can send you up high or destroys you. For example, let's say studied, and then you put studied with a Y. And I'm like, oh my God. Or I were doing this. Like, you are not a rapper. You was. Sorry, you were. But then I was. And you don't say I were. All right. So make sure that you putting the right conjugation and on the right tenses and on the right things. Email address. The unprofessional email address. I don't know, the last unicorn or the beautiful Pokemon, whatever it is that you write, it will cost you 35% of your chances. 34% goes to quantity. If you only put I worked, I did this, and you don't put numbers, you don't show that you did this, like, or percentages and stuff like that, it kills your chances. Long texts, paragraphs, in chat, as we call it. Just like when you just open your heart, I did this and I did that, it takes 25% of your chances. And then 18% goes to generic resumes. If you use one resume for all of them, it can show, and it does affect your chances. And then if it's longer than 17 pages, it's likely that 17% of the times you don't get a chance. And then lastly is when you don't send a cover letter. I receive emails with people they're looking for jobs, and they literally just send me the resume attached to the email, and that's it. It's like there is no hi, there is no my name is, there is no cover letter, basically. Who do you think has the time to open an empty email and then you just, what? They forgot to write. Let me go ahead and open the resume. No one will do that. You have to include a cover letter. Well, a cover letter is a different kind of art. That's something that we could leave to another day, but it's also just as equally important, and it could kill your chances by 10%. Consistency is everything. Now, if you've seen Baqi's first email, first resume, he had blue, and then he had something on the right, and something on the left, and then something in the center. Everything was all over the place. So consistency is really important. So when you have a theme, it should be something that is neat. Yes, you can have colors, but then it shouldn't be a circus. All right. So neat, clean, professional, creative kind of, and don't go all SpongeBob with the colors. I mean, yellow. Yes, yellow is special. Yellow can stand out, but then not too much, probably. All right. Now, fonts. Don't use standard fonts. Sometimes she's like, oh, let me do italics. Let me do bold. Let me do serif. Let me do non-serif. Let me do this. Take it like you just take it down a notch. Use maximum of 2 different fonts, and then just play with them. You can use the bold. You can use the italics. You have that. All right. Don't just go ahead. Colors. Go for 2-3 colors maximum that are contrasting. If you go again for way too many colors, it just looks like a circus. No one likes to see a circus. It's just eye-wise, like it's not appealing. And then the bullet point. Now the bullet points, if you choose the square ones in education, use the same one in experience. If you use a tick, use a tick. Well, usually a tick is not really as professional for a resume, okay? Don't use different one. We're going to see a sample in a moment. So maintain consistency, use the same thing. Alignment, you know how to align, like you align things. So if you leave 0.5 centimeters, keep the same thing for everything else. The format is 40%, like when I look at things, and then you have the content. That's where you have the grammar and the great consistency and the language. Because if you write a content that is full of mistakes, that is full of spelling errors, that is full of, well, nothing, it's still a failure. Now, I would like you to zoom, try to zoom the first one that has the X, okay? The first sample that has the X, just zoom it, check it, and tell me what is the problem with it. What are the mistakes that Lady Jane has made in her resume? All right, just zoom it based on what we have seen today, because this is basically we've seen everything. So based on everything that we've seen from name all the way to bullet points and formatting, what do you think are the mistakes? Just zoom and go from up all the way down and tell me what mistakes has Jane made. All right. First one. No alignment in the first. Kind of, yes. She's using different ones. Yes. Let's start with her name, and let's start with her name. What is the issue in her name? The first section, the name section. There is an issue. What is it? Well, she did definitely put her name, but what did she miss? There's something that she did not mention in the first section. What is that? Something that she did not mention. We spoke about, like, we put your name, and then what do you put? Well, there is no foreigner. Should be big caps. Well, it's okay. Now, what didn't she do? What did she not write? Like the title. She did not put her title there. Okay. And then, like, straight after her name, she put her name and her details in the same section. Her information, her contact details. And now let's go to the objective. In the objective, she put them as what? As 2 bullet points. All right. And then afterwards, there is a summary. So it's kind of a repetition because, well, a summary does tell you what you've done in the past few years. So there's a repetition. And then she has academic details. Even the title is not really that kind of tempting. And then she has technical skills and languages, which is literally one for each. one. And then she has work experience. And then she says date of joining, post, organization, the work. Okay, she's putting way too much details. And then at the end, she's like hard and soft skills. Well, kind of the word skills show up 2 different times on her resume. Now, if you go to the second one that has a tick, and then you just enlarge it and then zoom into it. So the first thing is you have her name and her title. You can see it. It's very clear. I mean, everybody can say it's like Jane, and that's what she does. She's a PMP. She's into nursing. Now, if you want her personal information, it's right there. It's still like you have her address, you have her phone, you have everything. It is easy to find. It's right there. Now, if we go into the objective, she did the good thing. Now, she didn't even call it an objective. She just went on. It's just like passionate. Again, that's where she went with the personal. Passionate healthcare PMP with 10 plus years of experience managing various projects in a high volume hospital. So this is her praising herself. Passionate. She chose passionate. You can choose seasoned. You can choose whatever it is that you want. Healthcare PMP with plus 10 years. So the first thing you see that she's passionate and she has 10 years. What did she do? A huge volume or high volume hospitals. So this is something that high volumes hospitals would be interested in. Cut costs by 32%. This is, again, she's talking about herself. She's telling them about the best things that she did. 32% in 6 months only. All right. So this is, just her telling that the person is, I'm great. I'm awesome. I'm amazing. You should definitely hire me. Like if you don't have, so like some people would just again say, but miss, I don't have the experience. Say, what are the greatest things that you've done? Have you been to events? Have you organized events? Did you have high scores as a student? What is the amazing thing that you did? Again, without like that relevant experience. Talk about that. And then she is seeking to leverage. She's seeking to invest. It's just like, again, she's telling people that you need me and I need you as well. To leverage strong leadership skills, because she's looking for a leadership position here, and expertise to increase profitability. Now she's telling them that I'm using my experience to increase your profitability. Right? And for SEC, what is that? Children's Hospital. So she's telling them that her objective is tailored to them. She's telling them, this is what I will do for your hospital. The first 2 sentences are personal. You can use that for all of the jobs. But the second one, like the third one, the last one, the professional one, that one has to be customized. That's where you change. You change according to the place that you are applying to. Looking to invest my experience in, promoting the students of Niagara College, for example, of BNP, for example, bank. It depends on what you're going. Talk to them in your resume, because they want you to show. They want the resume to show that you actually did go through their description, you've read it, and you are there to help them as they are there to help you. And then we have her experience. She did not say date of joining, because now here's the thing. She's looking for a position in which she has already 10 years. So that's her biggest thing. She should use her advantage, her experience. And she doesn't have to say date of joining, started on, finished on. She just put it in the years. 2006, 2017. And then she doesn't tell the title of the job, project manager right away. And then the name of the hospital of the place. You don't have to put titles and then introduce them. Just go ahead and put in them. And then she has her her achievements. And then even if you see it through her achievements, like they have those things like 10 years, you've got cuts, you've got 32%. You see the numbers. 87 nurses, so you can tell that this lady has been doing things. And the second job and the third job experience, they have the same format, the same alignment. The titles are kind of the same. The dates are the same, and then she's still using the same thing with the details. Education. She doesn't have to say technical education, academic details. It's very simple. Education. And again, you keep on the same format. Date, like of start, date of finish, just put them on top of each other. Or if you put them next to each other, do the same thing for everything else, experience and education. All right. So again, she didn't say, I studied math. It's just like, okay, this is where the specialty is. That's where the place of what she did. That's the title of what she studied. And that's it. Sometimes the modules that you've studied, the subjects that you've had, they are very important. So you can add that. For example, if I'm applying for coaching things, I want to stress, or if I want to apply for like, let's say, a counselor position, I want to stress the fact that during my master's and then during my bachelor's, I studied psychology. I had modules in psychology and in pedagogy, and that kind of helps me know people and connect with them. Right? So that kind of counts. So I will use it for myself. Certificates. Now she has like a professional certification. Now you can have professional certification. You can have extracurricular certification. I don't know, for events that you have attended, for trainings that you've done online. Now, if you don't have something that is related to your job, put an extra section in your resume and call it notable achievements. Let me see if I can type. So if you don't have that, if you have, I don't know, additional things, notable achievements, okay? So put a section on its own. And this is where you can brag. You said like, I don't know, I won a medal in a race. I was the first student in this one. I did a TEDx speech. I wrote a book. So these are all the things that are not related to the job that you are applying for. Okay, experiences and events and stuff, but they are still notable achievements. They are worth of their attention. They should know about them. Okay, in her case, she did some conferences, so she wanted to put it there. Now, on the other side, so after her personal information, she put in her skills, and instead of just like very good, very this, very that, she just played with it and then did it in a creative way. You can do it in different ones, and then it's not just technical skills. It's soft, hard, which are transferable. Leadership. She is applying to be a PMP. She's applying to be a head, to lead. So leadership. She's calling herself an expert. She has 10 years. Okay, what is that? Agile and Scrum. These are softwares, probably. Business process improvement. I can't see because of the tick. That's there because she needs that. Skilled in Keynote, MS Office, because sometimes you need IT skills. Project scheduling, that's part of probably her job. Strategic planning, and then communication skills, and then languages. And even with the languages, she used the same format. She did not use pie charts or, I don't know, again, good and expert. She still kept it. Now, if you look at both of them, or although the first one is still good, it's not really as disastrous. And this is someone who has 10 years of experience. She could have used the CV, but no, she used the resume because it's targeted, it goes straight to the point, and it does what it's well. And I don't know, I'm just looking at it from here, and what I can tell you is that, and this is what I wanted to say at first, it reads itself. You don't have to read. I mean, you just look at it and you can tell where each section is. You can tell that this is her name, this is her education, these are her skills. You can skip through them. You can go from this, and you don't feel dizzy. When you have too much like text and it's too congested, and she's like, whoa, wait, did I read this? Did I see this? it's too much. So, I mean, again, I would say that this one is not as horrible as the ones I've seen, but it still is not the correct one or the greatest one that she could have done. The other one is, just easy to read. It kind of, it's comfy to the eyes. I mean, you just look at it. So it's like, wow, I can do that. Oh, I'm interested. I would definitely read that. You can read that later on, but then you will spend more time on this one. And you're just like, oh, well, I can tell. I know. Even when you finish, it's like, she's done this, this. And then you can even tick. She makes your job easy. And that's what you should do. If you want to have an opportunity, you should make their job easy. You can still say everything that you want in one single page. 2, if you want. You don't have to write a CV. You don't have to write a curriculum vitae just to tell them that you are great and you're awesome and you're amazing. You can do it in one page resume, and you can tell them everything, and you can get all the ticks that you want. Does it make sense? Are you still with me? I mean, like, you're very silent. You are very silent. I mean, have you started sleeping? Because I think now it's kind of 10. Over there. Okay, good. Now, if you are short on the skills, short or you don't have the time, because sometimes there is a skill of delegation. Delegation is a skill. You can delegate. Like, sometimes if I can do things, I know how to do them, but then I would rather, for example, like today, no one else can do the webinar for me, so I have to be here doing the webinar, but I have my assistant, for example, who's preparing things for the next workshop. So I am still being fruitful. I'm still being effective while doing something else. So if you can't do it yourself, consider paying for a professional resume. That's it. Go to someone. If you just like, no, I have a good English, I think I can do it. I mean, now I know. So invest the time. It's just the time. It could be 2 days. I'm going to tell you about my latest resume and what it did for me. And it could take some time, because again, this is your chances on the line, and then just do it. Now, if I want to give you extra tips, you can take screenshots of these next slides if you want, and then just go through them later on. All right. Use strong action verbs. Your language could really be detrimental to your chances. It's just like, okay, it's just like, I employed, I maintained, I assisted, I upheld, I did this. And then here, by the way, when you are using the verbs, make sure that they are in the right tense, because if it's in the present, they should all be in the present simple. If it's a present job, if it's in the past, everything should be in the past simple. And that's when you need to watch out for irregular verbs. All right. Don't include irrelevant personal information. Again, age, status, gender, nationality, to avoid judgment, discrimination, or sometimes just because they are irrelevant. If you don't need them, if you don't ask for them, don't put them. All right. Use a professional, clear picture or nothing. Okay. And then poor layout. If it's messy, if it's something is here, something is left, like you have a zigzag going on, it definitely kind of I don't know, takes a toll on your resume. You have clear layout, some colors, just so that it shows things. Sometimes people say, no, it should be white. No, white is good, but you can add some colors. Don't worry. Spelling and grammar mistakes, they can kill you for real. Okay, so you can do it. Sometimes when you are writing something, you can't really judge it. So give it to someone. Give it to your spouse, to your friend, to your mother, to your parent, to your friend, someone to proofread it for you. Okay, just tell them, here's it, check it, and then go back to it, like maybe after 1 week or something like that, so that you are more attentive to them. The skills. A lot of people go on their resumes and are like, how many times I said, like, people, internet is not a skill. What do you do in the internet? Because you can just open your laptop and you have Google, and that's internet. That's it. It's like, I can open a browser. That's not a skill. So what can you do with the internet? So be more specific. So like, software. good with software. What software? What can you do with that software? It's like, for example, make videos with Sony Vegas, edits with After Effects. Be specific, and then avoid cliche adjectives and also skills. It's like literally every CV or resume I deal with has the word creative in it, and that's like very okay. Creative how? How can you be creative? How do you do things creatively? It's like, okay, so creatively design the software or a curriculum or a manifesto or this or that or a game. Okay, instead of saying results oriented, what are these results? It's like achieve 10% growth in 6 months and up to 25% by the end of the year. See, this is a result. But when you tell me results oriented, I don't know. Eating 10 burritos is still a result. Experience and education, as I said, most recent to the the oldest, and then the most relevant to the least. And don't focus on your responsibilities, but on the achievements. What did you do? What did you achieve? Did you have events? Did you make things? Did you organize things? Did you achieve anything during that time? What are the numbers? Did you course? Maintained high pass rates in Cambridge Pet exam up to 100% and low less than 70%. This is probably why I was hired for the Canadian college, because they needed their pet exam and they needed, yeah, go ahead. They needed high scores. So I told them that in the exam, I scored 100% success rates. The minimum was 70%. I also tell them, like people in Saudi Arabia, the colleges there, they care a lot about attendance. So I tell them I had attendance of like 100% and like in no less than 85%. It's like, oh, wow, we need that. So they hire you. Okay. So give examples, tell them what you did, give them numbers, give them names so that they see like, okay, well, she did that, she did this, she did that. All right. Don't include all of your past experience. Again, as I said, if I write a resume, I won't put everything that I've done. Definitely not in details. In details, just put the things that you need. In the end, just put the notable achievements section and then flaunt it. That is just, your honors, your medals, your certification, your events, put it there. Align them, like even my PowerPoint is aligned, because if I put something here, something there, you will be distracted. All right, so align them, use the same font. If the title is 14, the title there should also be 14. All titles should be 14. Not one title board, no, another one is italics, one is 12, one is underlined. Don't underline in CVs, by the way, and resumes. No one underlines. Spaces and bullets. Know your industry. I'm not sure about you, but then a lot of people, just see. I think I've done that at some point, but then it's like, oh, I see they need English teacher. I just go ahead and apply. But then they could be like, they're looking for an ESP English teacher, an English teacher for kids with special needs. They're looking for English teacher for pilots. So these are specific details that you need to know about the industry or the company, the college. What do they do? What are they into? Because during the interviews, like one of the questions is like, what do you know about us? Well, you are an oil and gas company, so you have a lot of oil. And they're like, not really, that's not all what we do. So you just make sure that you put in 10-15 minutes to look up the company and then see how you can use their language, not against them, but then to tempt them and then to lure them into hiring you. Because when you tell them what they want, they will be listening. It's like, this is kind of a coaching tip. It's like, if you want to sell someone something and the language you are using is not the language that they are using, you don't click, you don't meet them. But then if you tell someone, it's just like, you know what? I know, for example, let's see a problem that I have. I don't know, a problem that you could have that could people, I don't know, healthy food. Let's just say, like, you have healthy food, but then you don't have the time. I mean, I know you work all the day. I know you want to take better care of your health, but you don't have time to make healthy food. She's like, yeah, exactly. That's it. And then you come home and then you're tired. It's like, yeah, exactly. And you know what? we are going to deliver healthy food all the way to your apartment. And it's like very easy. You just, you make it easy for them as well. You just dial this, you check this. I was like, yeah, you solved my problem. But then you are using that language. But if you say, now we have this and this and that, and the language is not there, they won't be interested, although the concept is still the same, healthy food. Don't send your resume as Word format unless they ask you for it. Always save as PDF, because my Word is different from their Word, and you have different fonts sometimes. Like sometimes I have customized fonts, and if I send them to someone who doesn't have them, it won't show as beautiful as it was for me. So always save as a PDF, so you preserve all the format, everything that you have. The last tip is consider a video resume. Now, a lot of people are doing things with written resumes, but in this day and age that we are at, people are becoming more visual. All right, they appreciate things that they can see, they can look at, they can enjoy. It's like, that's kind of, well, of course, you still have the written version, but the video can tell them a little bit more about you, or just tell them things in a different way. Again, I tell people that a picture speaks 1,000 words, but then imagine what a video could do. So you could do, I don't know, you can have it yourself. I don't know, if you have the skills, go for it. But if you don't, you can definitely hire someone, or just purchase an offer that has a video resume, because again, it kind of up your chances. That's it. People are just like, oh well, a video resume, I like that. That's kind of original. Not, well, people still do it, but then it's not really as common as written resumes. It's not cheap, by the way. There is a link here, but I'm not sure if I have time to show it. But then it's 310. All right. It's definitely not cheap, but it's manageable. If you are looking into investing in a video resume, I would definitely recommend going for it. I will show you. This one is muted, so you just see the video. I'll show you one. So it just plays before you. So this is just, for example, the education and the experience. It has music to it, but because the computer is muted, I don't want to just go ahead and ask them to do different things. And then here's another one that's also showing, like, it is playing. Again, trainings, but then again, it's still doing the same thing as your original resume, but it's doing it in a different way. And if you want to add whatever it is that can be added, but then again, it has movement, it has music to it. Sometimes you can even record it yourself if you have a good camera and good skills. All right. So I didn't want to include the recommendations because they were like real people. So that's, again, kind of a recommendation that I would say. Prices for resumes. Currently, these are prices for October 2020. They can be from, CV editing, just CV editing or resume editing could be from $99 upwards. It's just the editing. You have your CV and then they just edit it for you. Resumes, $129 all the way to $179, and it really depends. Like, there are resumes and CVs that can be done in thousands of US dollars. Well, that's kind of the currency that everybody understands. But then again, that's for people who are probably seniors and people who are also willing to invest. Cover letters and stuff like that, I think that the least expensive thing here, and that's online pricing. That's not like, I didn't make these up. They are online. Sometimes they change, sometimes they don't. And then the cheapest, because I was looking at like the cheapest people with the cheapest rate online, people who do these things. And then if you can check, they will give you details of the person who would write your resume. So if you want a writer who has high school level, they will write one single page for, they give you a whole lot of, the numbers, and then you have a discount. But then one page will be at 22 US dollars, which is like literally 23. For one page for a writer who's stopped at high school. So if you want a better writer who's done their bachelor's, who's got their master's or PhD, one page will cost you more. So that's pretty much how it will cost you to get a resume done in this time and this age. And again, taking a deep breath, because a lot of people say, like, you know what, I was really looking forward to getting someone to do my resume for me, but then, oh, now those prices, not really. And that's why we are here for. And I want to tell you about opportunity. What is your dream opportunity? What is the biggest, wildest thing that you have in mind and then you would like to have? Let me know in the comment section. What is the one thing that you had? It's like, oh my God, you will probably jump and dance and I don't know, you'll like, what is the dream opportunity that you would, I don't know, you have it in mind and you dream about it, you still dream about it, but then you're applying for it, or you haven't even considered applying for it because it's kind of too big. What is it? What is that dream opportunity? Come on, don't be shy, because I'm going to share with you my dream opportunity and how I kind of got it. Dream opportunity. What is your wildest opportunity and dream and the thing that you have in mind? Come on, it's okay to share. We are all strangers. No one is going to haunt you home and say, well, I know about your opportunity. What is your dream opportunity, people? I think they slept. Naimeen, khalas. Everybody slept. Scholarship abroad. Okay. That can be done. Yes. A scholarship to work in who? Right, my battery is definitely below 10 now. Okay, what else? Yalla, yalla, yalla. Do it quickly, just so that to be a teacher at some. Okay, wait. To have my own nutrition and gym center, to be a teacher at some abroad university. I want to be training special aid, voiceover, and TV animator. I love that. Yes. All right. Well, not many of you are sharing though. So the right resume equals the right opportunity. Be sure of that. And I was telling you that I was teaching, but this is not the opportunity. But then my resume, because my resume was achievement oriented and then was organized as to show me or to portray me as someone who's done a lot of great things and who's worthy of being hired. When I was working at the Canadian colleges and stuff like that, I was paid more than Americans, more than British people, more than Australians, although they were native speakers and I'm the Algerian, I'm the Arab speaker. So I was paid more than, because my resume decided that for me. Now, a resume gets you fast replies because you send them, people see it, like, oh wow, let's get that one. Gets you more interviews. Definitely get a higher salary, as I said, promotions and priorities, and it also gets you the chance of going big because people will see it as like, okay, this person has the qualifications, they can do it, they've done it. Of course, again, your interview will decide further, but your resume will do the first step. Now, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? Do you know this man? Do you know him? Absolutely no. Okay. Well, if you know him, who is he? Nope. All right. Okay, but who is he? Well, if you know him. Yes. Tony Robbins. This is Tony Robbins. This is the world's, I don't know, most famous well, he doesn't call himself coach, but he invented modern day coaching. He has coached more than 50 million people in the last 40 years, including presidents, singers, actors, I don't know, famous people, like you just name it. And again, he has programs all over the world. Mel Robbins, well, she wrote the other. Yes, he's American, yes. Mel Robbins wrote the book, The 5 Seconds Rule. Yeah. And again, people, sometimes it's not even easy to get on one of his events, like UPW, Unleash the Power Within. The tickets for that event alone could be like 10,000 US dollars. Date with Destiny is like 25K. And you just name it. He created the NLP. Well, not really. He doesn't qualify himself as a coach, by the way. He calls himself as a success strategist. But then again, what I'm telling you is like, he's known. He is worth 600 million US dollars up to date. He has coaches now all over the world. And my question is like, do you think it would be easy to get on his team? Do you think it's easy to be hired by the Tony Robbins Institute? Because again, Singapore, yes, he did the UPW. He does it all over the world. He does it all over the world. He did it in Dubai 2 years ago. He did it in he does it in Australia, in the UK, a little bit all over the world. His events like rotate. So someone said not. Well, he'd never been to Algeria. I don't think he's been to this part of the world yet. So Wafa said, well, Wafa is in my class, right? You are in my master class. I wish. So when at the beginning of this month we were having, there was the summit, the World Summit with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and people from all over the world. And what I did is I saw they were hiring coaches, results coaches. And it's like, you know what? I want to be a results coach because I was I was doing, oh yes, Hanan. I was doing I was doing his program as a coachee. I was in the results coaching program. Yes, Oprah, like pretty much everybody in the world, he had interviewed him, and then you can say he invented cassettes, and they were advertising for jobs, mass look for coaches, and so like, you know what? Let me do that. But my problem was that my resume has not been updated since probably last what? Because we stopped because of COVID. My last in-person event was in February, and that was the last time I did it. And that resume was for a speaker, and I needed a resume for coach for Tony Robbins, and it took me 3 days to put it together. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna squeeze my brains, as someone said, and I'm gonna put it, and I'm gonna send it. And then 2 days afterwards, I got this email telling me that we have reviewed your application to become a Tony Robbins results coach, and we are happy to say we would like to schedule an interview. Yay! And I know that was like 4th of October. Well, I don't have role models, actually. No one is my role model. But then again, as a person who's achieved so many successes, Tony Robbins is definitely, qualifies as one of those people. And I did my interview at 1 a.m. in the morning. I literally slept, and then I woke up, I put my hijab on, and I did my interview with them. But then I said, no, I will not become a Tony Robbins coach. For me, it was just, I wanted to see if I can just get in. If my resume can do it, and my resume can do it. Alhamdulillah. But then, I'm glad being my own coach on my own team, creating my things. But if I said yes, I wouldn't have actually been able to do any of the events for 3 months, because the training goes on for 3 months, 10, 12 hours per day. And it's just, too much. But then that's the power of the right resume. It gets you the craziest chances in the world. And that's what my resume did for me when I squeezed my brains and put 2 days, 3 days into making it. And that's when I applied for this and I got the chance. And now I know that if I want something, I only need to, and what it was just for that job, and the cover letter was just for their job. I told them everything they needed to hear and everything they wanted and needed. And that's how it happened. And I got it this on the 4th of October. I think I applied on the 2nd of October. So it took them 2 days to get back to me, which was pretty fast, I would say. All right. So that brings me to my special offers. 5, are they 5? I think they are 5. So it's kind of a now or never thing. There are always different ways of doing things. There is the good, and then there is the better way of doing things. I always tell people, life is, and chances in life are a combination and the culmination of skills. So when you have this skill plus this skill plus this skill, you get the right opportunity. So if, for example, if you want to, I think someone said, I want to work to study abroad. So what you need first is a good resume, and you need English, and you just, you apply. But then if you have a good resume and you don't have the English, you're going to fail. Or if you have the English and you don't have the good resume, you won't go through. Same thing. The cover letter, of course, is also really important. Yes, Ravi, go ahead. Ravi is a boy, right? Cover letters, that's again, because that's how we act. They start or open your resume first. They need to see your cover letter. And the cover letter is kind of, as I said, is an art. It has its own etiquette. It has its own way of doing things. And if you do it right, it also gets you the right offer. And I've told people, my followers on Instagram, said Japan is one of the hardest countries to work on as an English teacher if you are not a native speaker. If you are not a native speaker, just forget about it. But in 2016, I applied to a university in Japan, and I sent them one of my best cover letters, and I got a reply. And then I had an interview. I think it was at 6 a.m. in the morning that time, which was okay. I was still sleeping. I had to get up. And the guy, I remember the first thing the guy said, it was my first time meeting Japanese. I love Japanese, and I have high respect for them because I know they are very well-disciplined people. And the first thing he said, you know what? When I read your cover letter, I had to call you. It was your cover letter. I was like, well, of course, he opened my resume, but then my cover letter is what got him to open. No, I'm a girl. Okay. All right, Ravi. Okay, that's a beautiful name. Because Ravi in English, in Arabic, means a narrator, someone who narrates things. Right. So you've got resumes, you've got cover letters, and you've got English as a language because it opens doors. Yes, your native language, whatever it is good and it helps you. But then if you want to go global, if you want to expand, you need English. You need the language, you need the skills, you need the spoken, you need the written skills, and you have to work on them. And that's why I'm here today to propose a few things. Now, the first one is for a resume offer, a free resume template. I actually ended up giving 2 resume templates, a cover letter sample. It is done, it is written. It is not my Japan cover letter though. It's a different cover letter. It's written and it's customizable. Literally you have just, to fill in your own information. It's example, I have this, and then you put in the skills that you have, a video resume template, and the action verbs, a full list of 400 action verbs that you can literally just take and then put in your resume and put in your cover letter. And I would say just go ahead and check. I mean, you've seen that a video resume, you haven't seen, I actually didn't show you, but then video resumes can be, I don't know, I think a minimum of 50, probably $50 all the way to 500, 1,500. Cover letter was the same thing. So it's the whole thing, it's 150 kind of US dollars. but I'm offering you the 4 for just $50, and that's just for 7 people, the first 7 people who get it. The next offer is just for the letters, because when you're applying, you need a cover letter, an experience letter, and recommendation letter, and a motivation letter. Sometimes people are not willing to write you, for example, an experience letter. They're too lazy, they don't have time. So you just say, you know what, I have it, I'm just gonna give it to you, and you're just gonna sign it with your name. So like that's the experience letter. Again, you just customize it, you just add your name to it, change few things. Same thing for the cover letter and the recommendation letter and the motivation letter. So if you want all 4, go ahead. And again, you've seen that the offer from the high school, the high school teacher student who writes you 1-page thingy for $23. So if you multiply that by 4, and I definitely am not high school. I've done my master's in 2014, and I've had I've had 2 books so far plus that, but I'm not counting the experience. I'm just giving you something, the best thing that I can give you right now. Now, for people who want to learn English, and again, I've just spoken about it, and I know, and I keep telling people, because I'm starting an English course for coaches only, because I tell them, it's good that you're a coach in Arabic, but if you want to take over the world, you need English. So in July, I have started my program of English at home. And so far, we've had students from Algeria here. We've had people from Germany, from Saudi Arabia, and from Japan, Egyptian in Japan. And they have been there, our students, ever since. We have course for beginners, for intermediate level, and we have a master class for speaking. That's the one I actually teach. I'm not sure if you have ever studied before online, but if you haven't, I usually charge when I'm teaching online. It's a per hour norm of charge, and I charge between $45 to $50 per hour. But our program is monthly, so you will get for the master class, it's 4 sessions of 90 minutes plus the 5th one for free, and you will get it for $8 per month. You can again zoom in, you can enlarge so that you can see the details. And then you have the 2 months. For the beginners and for the intermediate, we have 7 people per class, and it's $60 per month only. And again, I keep telling people I could do this per hour, I can get really rich, but I want to offer people value, and I want to offer people the chance of getting an inch closer to their dreams, whatever they might be, through English. It could be just learning English, just improving English. But we have engineers, we have lawyers, we have journalists, we have doctors and nurses, we have housewives. Soon we are opening one for children as well. So it's pretty much, we are helping wide ranges of people in English, and we're also doing it in French, but I'm not sure if anybody here is interested in French. But mostly here in Algeria, we've got people who want to learn French as well. So the course exists also for the French language, for those who are interested. Now, if you want results coaching and my experience with everything that I've been doing and with Tony Robbins, you can go ahead and book a session of 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes. And these offers are just for people who are here. If you're interested, you can take screenshots and then send it to me later on so that I can book your session with this rate instead of the standard usual rate. All right. I'm not sure. So if you are interested in any of the offers, you can pay with PayPal, Visa, MasterCard. From Saudi Arabia, people can pay with Al Ahli and Al Riyadh bank accounts. In Algeria, they know. You can either contact me on the email address below or on the WhatsApp number. So contact@fatimamohammed.co.uk, or on that number. Again, you can take a screenshot and just forward it to us later on, inshallah. Any of the offers or other offers